Hello class, this is our economics teacher Umar Farooq again. First of all, happy Ramadan to everybody. Second thing, today we are going to start up with the chapter number 2 of your book first, that is Statistics for Economics, and the chapter is Collection of Data. As we distinguish the definitions of statistics itself in singular sense and plural sense in the previous chapter, the introduction part, you people got to know that while we define statistics in singular sense, it is the steps which are basically involved in it, that is the collection, organization, presentation, and analysis of data. But at that very point, I said that we will have to explain each and everything in detail. That was just the definition, but here we are taking just one word, that is collection, and chapter number 2 will be all regarding collection of data. You see, the first and foremost thing for you people to understand is that now you are formally in the field of statistics, where everything begins. The beauty of statistics is that you know what you are doing. Before you proceed with anything, you proceed with any of the components, you proceed with any of the inquiry, you know what you are doing. That is what is important, and that is what is the beauty about statistics. Before you collect data, what is data and what is information, I am going to tell you all about it. But first, before you collect the data, you know what is the problem. That is the most important thing. You know object of inquiry, you know scope of inquiry, time of inquiry, degree or extent, etc. You know each and everything when you learn statistics, of course. And then you begin with the first thing is, after you know what is your problem, what is your field of inquiry, what you are going to inquire about, you start up collecting data. So here our journey begins. The collection of data contains the word data. You read it data, it has been read many a times, but from 90s, I would say, early 90s, or I would say late 80s will be most accurate. From late 80s, this word data got associated with the field of computers only. Really very much. Everybody got to know this word because of the computers. And this word got into circulation with the evolving technology. But it has been there, it is there from time immemorial, because data is something, it is of course a plural word. Well, this data is in itself a plural word. It has originated from a singular word, that is datum. I am going to come upon it. But the first thing is that here we begin. What we begin with is the word data. So on screen you can see, in order to save your time, I have given a few things. The first and the foremost thing which I am going to start up with is the data. The word data, if you would look into the word data, you can see on the screen as well that data is a distinct piece of information. So it's a piece of information. So primarily what I am talking about, it is information. So this is the first important thing we have to keep in mind. This piece of information is something special. It is specially formulated because it is pertaining to a particular field of inquiry. As I said earlier, that since mid 1900s, and people used this word with the computer information only. So for we people here, what is important, that data is a plural word of datum. Datum is the singular word, which means a single piece of information. So it means data is information, but in plural sense. So this was the word data. Before we commence with the things, the basic terms must be known to you people. Second word here with us is the data collection. So dear students, this is our second thing we have to understand, that is data collection. Data collection is now the process. Here I am encircling the word of gathering and managing the information which we were talking about on variables of interest. Variables of interest, here I am putting a curved line under it, means variable of interest means field of inquiry, what you have to inquire about. So it is all done in a systematic fashion. You collect the data, but in a particular manner. It is not that you go and do the things. It is done with a particular technique, adopting a particular way, a particular source. You will get to know about all these very things one by one. Then only you can answer your field of inquiry. Before, what is field of inquiry? I'll come upon it, but before, let us understand these three basic terms. And the last term, what I am going to talk, the third term, important first term is which you have to understand, is for us people is here that we talk about data and we talk about information. Is there a difference in between the two? That is what we have to understand here. Data is raw. You can see data is raw. What we mean by raw? We mean that it is just collected. It could be in any shape. It is unorganized. Of course, facts regarding a field of inquiry. This data, when processed, can be or could be put in any use. It is to be organized. So you see, I am talking about the collection of data, the organization of data. But information, when you say information here, from this very word, information is the processed or organized structure of the data. It is what makes data useful. When you organize the data, you collect data, okay, then you organize it. This is your second chapter, organization of data. Then you organize it. You put it in a very particular way. Let us say you put it in a table, or you put it in a graph or something like that. Okay? Or there are many ways to organize it. You organize it textually. You organize it numerically. Okay? So you organize it. When this data is organized, it becomes information, because this information is now useful. You can put it in any use. It is structured. So before we proceed with the collection of data and we look into other things of data collection, what we people have to understand here is that before data collection, we must be aware about a lot of things. What are those lot of things? These lot of things are what I was shortly just a few moments back talking about. Those things are simply the things you must bear in mind before you proceed with the data collection. And what are those? Number first and foremost is that you must be aware about what is problem. I'll make an example to me for you people. You will understand. First, you must get to know what is problem. Second is, what is the object of inquiry? This is important. Okay? And third is scope of inquiry. Fourth is the time of inquiry. Fifth is degree of accuracy. Okay, and sixth, source of information. Dear students, if I'll go on with this list, it is a never ending list. But these are a few things you must bear in mind before you proceed with the data collection. So after you know the source of information, you must be also knowing your type of inquiry, what you have to inquire about. Okay, and then you will proceed with collection of data. I'll cut it short here on the 8th point, collection of data. This is more than enough for your level. So dear students, here we have to know what is the problem. Okay, what is the object of your inquiry, what is the scope of your inquiry, that is what it is going to cover, to which extent the field will be covered in it, what is the time of inquiry, what is the degree of accuracy you are expecting. This is an expectation, degree of accuracy, or what is the degree of accuracy, how much accurate you want to be your investigation, what is the source of information. And you will shortly come to know that there are many sources of information, and sources of information will have a direct impact on the degree of accuracy. And this time has to be in your consideration for all the times. What is the type of your inquiry, and how you will proceed with the collection of data. So here we have to keep all these very things in mind, then only we will be able to understand what we are going to proceed with. But now when we know all these very things, let us convert all this what we were talking about into an example. Suppose I have been given an assignment to know about the literacy rate of, let us say, J and K. Fine. I'll come to know the literacy rate of J and K only when I will visit each and every district. Fine. The objective of inquiry is to know the literacy rate of J and K. Time, place, etc. it is given. So literacy rate and time has to do nothing. I can conduct this survey at any point of time in a year, but place is given. Okay. Now literacy rate of J and K, for that I will have to go into all the districts. So I will have to bifurcate this at a district level. Of course, I will not go myself to each and every district. I will appoint someone who will do the things for me, and who will conduct a survey for me, or who will collect this data for me. That someone could be maybe an enumerator. Okay, that someone could be an enumerator. I'll assign this person a job on my behalf to collect the data, and I will do one more thing, that I will appoint, say, for 10 districts I will appoint 10 enumerators. They will conduct surveys for me. So here I know now, by the virtue of this very cartoon, that I am appointing someone. I am appointing someone who will work for me. Fine. These enumerators will get data from 10 districts, but there will be a particular definite shape of the data, and how they will let me know about the things, that how the things are going, how they will collect it, as I'll tell them. So the enumerators will collect data about the literacy rate from various districts. In first, they will divide, all these very things will get divided into urban, literacy, and rural literacy rate. Okay, then what will happen? This is the first thing I am going to divide it into. Then this urban literacy rate will further get divided into urban male literacy and urban female literacy. Fine. You see how I am conducting my survey, my enquiry, and how the field of enquiry is enhancing. That is what I am talking in now. Here is, I know what is the problem is to know the literacy rate. What is the objective will be government may have to spend more on the education sector. See, scope of the literacy of my enquiry is increasing. Now accordingly I can divide it here into rural male literacy and rural female literacy. It can further be divided on the basis of the age group and all. So there are many ways. Here now we are at least able to understand a few terms. We are able to understand now what data is, what information is, what we basically mean by data collection, and before we proceed with the data collection, what are the things we have to keep in mind, or what is the purpose, how we will proceed. So this was all about it. Here, dear students, we come upon now an most important thing, the most important question in this very chapter, which is being asked time and again in different exams, that you must be aware about the type.